First out was Democrat Senator Chris Murphy admitting that Democrat shutdown is about protecting the Democrat brand. And that was Senate Majority Leader John Thune hammering him on that as Americans suffer. Again, the news is coming in. 15 to 20% of U.S. flights could get canceled in coming days. This is after a half dozen Democrats admitted they are using Americans' pain as leverage to get more Obamacare spending. It takes 5 Democrat senators to reopen the government. This is a Democrat shutdown. 15 straight Senate votes have already failed because Democrats won't reopen. Joining us now from Senate Budget, Senator Pete Ricketts. Senator, it's good to see you again. It's great to see you. What can you tell us about the Chuck Schumer's offer? This is about, he's saying, a 1-year extension of Obamacare tax credits, but that's clearly a setup to hammer the GOP over Obamacare for the midterms next year. He's setting that up for that so Democrats can campaign on Obamacare next year in the midterms.
The offer that Chuck Schumer made is unserious. It just shows how full of horse hockey he is. I mean, he is making something up he knows that we're not going to agree to. We're not going to agree to continue to allow billions more of taxpayer dollars to go to fraud because of these pandemic COVID subsidies. We're not going to pay people who are above $250,000 in income. We're not going to do it where it has no limits on abortion, and that's all things he's got in his bill. And this is just typical of what the Democrats are doing. They're a bunch of hypocrites, and you mentioned earlier about the leverage. A number of them, not just Chris Murphy, have said this is about leverage. They are talking about leverage when I am getting all sorts of letters, handwritten letters from air traffic controllers talking about the pain that they are putting them through because they're not being paid. They've got medical conditions they've got to take care of. Many of these people in my communities are veterans. They can't pay their bills. They're going to decide which ones they're not going to pay. And in fact, the Democrat staffer said they're going to do this till planes start falling out of the sky. But with what Sean Duffy has said, that we are now at that point. Democrats need to come around and open government.
This is a national disgrace created by Democrats. By the way, Obamacare failed. Since it passed in 2010, it didn't stop costs like Obama and Nancy Pelosi promised. Insurance costs have nearly doubled by 88%. Taxpayer costs for Obamacare premiums more than tripled by 220%. Taxpayers are basically funding insurers. You know, Democrats blew out Obamacare even more during the pandemic. They want to keep that same pandemic level of spending funded by U.S. taxpayers.
Yeah, my colleague was just on your show here talking about the $50 billion we gave to insurance companies. Peter Welch on the floor of the Senate last night admitted that Obamacare was a failure. But if you've been paying attention at all, you know that's true because Obamacare didn't do anything what President Obama promised. You didn't get to keep your doctor, and your health care costs skyrocketed over this time. In fact, in some states right now, the pandemic or the Obamacare increases are like 200%, more than double than what the regular private market insurance. So why are we paying this money to insurance companies?
Why, exactly.
This?
You're lining the insurance company CEOs' pockets in their 401k plans. Let's get your reaction to what President Trump said about what's going on earlier. Watch.
We have a shutdown, as you probably know, because the Democrats have gone, they're crazy. They're crazy, but they don't care if they hurt the country. But we've approved it 14 times. We've approved opening up 14 times, and they keep rejecting it. And I guess maybe they will again. Let's see what happens. They want to have a lot of bad things happen, bad things for our country.
We got to point this out. The Media Research Center says there's media malpractice. The coverage has been biased. Nearly 90% of the coverage on NBC, ABC, CBS favored Democrats. They're claiming it's a Republican shutdown. It's not. It's a Democrat shutdown.
Republicans are voting to open government. Democrats are not. We've got 3 Democrats who have voted with us so far. We need 5 more to tell their far left-wing base that they care more about people than leverage. They care more about people than whatever plan Schumer's got about trying to pay all these billions of dollars in fraud out, continuing this failed program. I mean, the fact that they want to continue to have these COVID bonuses, it just demonstrates that Obamacare is a failure. And like I said, Peter Welch admitted it last night.
Senator Ricketts, thanks for coming to us on the show from Senate Budget. Good to see you.